That's right. News contributor joining us. Your reaction to this insane raid?
Well, it's a breathtaking moment to have a raid like this on a former president and potentially the future opponent of the current president. My first reaction...
15 minutes later.
Support Trump say they're outraged by the FBI search. GOP leader Kevin McCarthy promised an investigation into the Justice Department if his party wins the House in November. He tweeted that Attorney General Merrick Garland should preserve records and clear his calendar. And Republican Senator Marco Rubio tweeted this: "Using government to persecute political opponents is something we have seen many times from third world Marxist dictatorships, but never before in America." This morning, CBS News is reporting that according to a law enforcement source, the FBI notified the Secret Service at Mar-a-Lago shortly before the search warrant was served, and that agents at the property helped FBI investigators. The source says several boxes were taken away. We'll send it back to you.
Accounts, it doesn't make sense.
US President Donald Trump has issued a statement saying that the FBI has carried out a raid on his Florida home at Mar-a-Lago. He was not in the state at the time. Mr. Trump said that a large group of agents arrived at the compound with a search warrant. They even broke into my safe, he said. Mark Lobel reports.
A spectacular FBI search on former President Donald Trump's Florida home to reportedly seize official papers he's handled.
So that means the most famous conservative politician in the United States, a former president, likely to be now a candidate for president, is being investigated seriously for a crime. That is unprecedented.
An unnamed law enforcement official told
Eventually,
biographer of Trump with him and with family members. What do you think is going through his mind and their minds?
Oh, I think they're delighted. This is a surprising answer, but I think that they've been planning for this for years. Donald Trump first did his reaction to the FBI, actually having his lawyer call them Gestapo and stormtroopers 50 years ago. So he's been prepared for this strategy all along. He issued a campaign-style commercial within hours. This was prepared in advance. So he's an expert at spinning everything into publicity. He believes all publicity is good publicity. And that hardcore Trump group, 35% of the electorate, is going to be electrified by this. I think he's having a good day, actually.
Alyssa, you see this as serious on many levels.
I do. If we're talking about it being vital national security documents, I don't think that we can forget that those, even if it's top secret, that means it could pose a grave national security risk if it's in the wrong hands or made out into the public. This, I'm hoping, goes beyond simply not complying with some archiving laws, or DOJ just handed Donald Trump the Republican nominee and potentially the presidency. If it's seen as some sort of massive overreach and not something incredibly serious, this is a very good day for Donald Trump. And by the way, he knows how to play this up in his favor. He more or less broke this news.
He did break it.
I believe, a Florida-based reporter had something, but he was ready to go. And I've actually seen quite sort of aligned messaging among Republicans. This is, a banana republic. This shouldn't happen. If they do it to the president, the FBI will do it to you. I think he's having a good day as of now. So I hope DOJ's buttoned up on this.
Yeah, no, that's very interesting. The messaging from Republicans, they're seeing maybe benefit going into the midterms on this.
Unless the they is Ron DeSantis.
Well,
or anybody else who was planning on running for the Republican nomination in 2024. Look, this just happened. So the ramifications are still mostly unknown. But in the short term, what it looks like is exactly what Alyssa said. I mean, I cannot tell you how many Republicans I have talked to who have said that just the political way that he handled this is vintage Trump. And for his short-term political goal, which is, if it is, in fact, to get the Republican nomination, kind of genius, because he has used all, I mean, look at the buzzwords he used in that statement: Occupy, raid. I mean, he basically said it was the deep state, which totally triggers and animates the people who...
Much later.
This is CBS News Flash. I'm Matt Piper in New York. The FBI has executed a search warrant at former President Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort. Trump calls it a raid and says, quote, "They even broke into my safe." He was not at the Florida home at the time. CBS News has learned it was not connected to January 6th, but instead to missing White House records. The U.S. will send an additional $5.5.
This is how legends are born.